Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga.
Kapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. And that means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello world, it's Bird of Prey 5, Kapla. Welcome to Bed Life for Monday, June 12th, 2023, which I'm being told is Child Labor Day. Yay, congratulations. Apparently the world now officially recognizes, well, Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer. So I assume that they decided to make today, Monday, June 12th, Child Labor Day, the unofficial start to summer. It's wonderful that the world is recognizing child labor finally as a valid option, to get. It's for too long we have pushed children towards education, and all that has done has created a perpetual victim class. We raise these kids to feel entitled, and we push them into ever higher forms of debt by saying, here, take out these loans, free money. We give them a bunch of quote unquote free money, which is just money they don't have to pay back ever. We say, yeah, pay it back, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then a few years later, like, well, we'll pay it back for you. Or I'm sure there'll be some reason you won't have to pay it back. And now we're here and we've got politicians literally saying, well, vote for us and we'll free you of you have $100,000 in student debt because you decided to take out loans to go to college for 6 years to get a degree in a field that pays no money. Well, that's not your fault. That's the government's fault. So vote for me to be in the government and we'll just erase that. We'll erase that amount it's like you never borrowed it. You still had all the fun you had when you were in college, right? I mean, we can't take away all the parties you went to all the drinking you did, all the drugs you did, all the people you hooked up with. Well, no, that you get to keep forever. But the financial ramifications, the suckers who said, I can't afford college, I'm going to go straight to work. And they didn't get to take, summer break in Pensacola, Florida, running around on the beach naked, drinking beers off naked chicks. No, all quote unquote under the umbrella of, oh, this is college. This is me exploring my body and my this is me growing, because later I'm going to go be a fucking psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever the fuck, professional philosopher, have a degree in, museum engineering, whatever the fuck that means. It doesn't mean engineering, I'll tell you that. Yeah. No. So child labor is, instead of saying, yeah, go to school, go to college, and get a degree that will only make you qualified to be a professor that gives that degree to the next generation. We say, no, you come to Karoga and we will teach you how to work, how to, how to mine uranium, a valuable resource. That's a skill you can keep with you the rest of your life. You don't need to go get a piece of paper to hang on your wall. Though if you want a piece of paper to hang on your wall, there's a lot of paper in Karoga and government. We can find one. You can go to Walmart or Target and get yourself a piece of paper holder, whatever they call it, a frame. You can frame your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and hang it on your wall, just like everybody else does, if it makes you feel better. It won't say much, but you'll have your piece of paper in your frame. And yeah. So happy Child Labor Day. Congratulations. I'm so happy the world has officially acknowledged that children's labor is worth celebrating, and we will get to that official a little later, once we go through the official days, calendar days for today. In the meantime, not Ryan Johnson, first in the chat, says, hello in Kapla, hail Karoga, hail Karoga. It says, Child Labor Day must be a Karogan thing. Only the God Emperor would be happy having children labor in the mines. Well, this is labor anywhere. Children labor, not just the mines. And 54.5 Access Radio says, finally a true Karogan holiday, with 3 pickaxe emojis. Absolutely. John DeMarco says, greetings to all on this most important day of the Karogan calendar. Thank you, John. Richie Poole says, to celebrate this most sacred day in Karoga, all orphan miners work double shifts. That is good thinking, Richie. They'll be twice as happy today. They can thank me later. Captain Phantom Nerd says, hello, Captain. Not Ryan Johnson says, I thought they always work double shifts. At least nothing changes then. Well, double then, not Ryan Johnson. Quadruple shifts. Quadruple shifts for everybody. Richie Poole says maybe they are working their normal double shifts, but only at half pay. Oh, that's another wonderful. Okay. You want to get it? That's wonderful. So half pay, double shifts. That works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yes, we are.
Richie Poole, I read that. Not Ryan Johnson says the Krogan standard tends to change at the whim of the God Emperor.
Yes, that'd be fine.
Tomorrow's fine.
Yeah.
Last son of Kay says Kapla Bird and hello to the Oprays.
No,
I hope everyone is doing well. Hail fellow mods and the chat. Kapla, last son of Kay. Last son of Kay says Child Labor Day, Bird. An extra ration of gruel for the miners in the Krogan mines. And no, they don't serve gruel today, last son of Kay. It's Labor Day. It's just like Labor Day. They barbecue, but because it's child labor, instead of hamburgers and hot dogs, it's sliders and mini franks. That's all their little hands can hold on the barbecues. Little mini franks. It's okay. They like them. Mamo Frey, was there a time?
no, the only one.
Okay.
Usually.
Yeah. Like, have a doctor coming tomorrow. By the way, guys, tomorrow, Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, will be the members only stream. I'm going to try to start it a bit earlier than usual, but I now have a doctor coming tomorrow, so I will post the stream as early as I can. Keep an eye out. We now have 63 channel members when I last checked. Big thanks to John Araki and also LDG and others who have given money to subscribers. It appears that everybody who can get a YouTube subscription, who YouTube has deemed eligible for one, probably has one at the moment. So yeah, if you don't have a subscription, you probably either need to enable the ability to get a subscription, a gifted subscription, or you're not eligible for gifted subscriptions due to YouTube's wacky rules, in which case you'd have to just get your own if you were so inclined. But a big thanks. Most of that has been John Araki. And LDG with his 18-month Krogan orphan super chat says, oh wait, never mind that, I'm good, I guess. LDG says, can someone gift a membership? Wait, if I gift one, can I actually get it now that I'm not a member anymore? But you are a member. You are a member, LDG. So, yeah. And the basic answer would have been no. The only way to force it to know that you would get it would be if you purchased it yourself. If somebody gifted it, there's no way to know who it might go to. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Very good to hear from you. See you again. And deepest apologies to Mike Richards and Richie Poole. I was going through the old spam box on AOL yesterday and found, for some reason, emails from both Richie Poole and Mike Richards in the spam box. For no particular reason why AOL decided to send your guys' emails to spam. I don't know. I don't know why, but it made some sense now as to why I never heard back from people. I should have checked the spam box sooner. Should have checked it a little sooner. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies says 100K in student debt. Get your butt on a job. Indeed. Last on the case is 6 years in college and you get a master's in burger flipping. Last on the case is 90% of people who got degrees in the last 20 years can't even work in that degree field. $100,000 for a piece of toilet paper hanging on their walls. Cinnabon Bunny says, hello, hello, Cinnabon Bunny. Hakeem says, Kapla, everyone, Kapla. Hakeem. Last son of K is smiling. LDG wanted a membership that he already has. And Mike Richards says, I'm expired spam. No, your spam did not expire. Luckily, I checked the spam box before those messages expired. So, in Karoga, we like expired spam, apparently. We keep expired spam around for quite a while. Anyway. Can you barbecue spam? Can you barbecue spam? Asked Mama Pray. I would think not. I mean, let's put it this way. Can you barbecue spam? I'm sure you can. What you mean is grill. Can you grill spam on a grill? I would imagine you would take it out of the can first. But yeah, I don't think it would, just don't think it would come out all that well if you did. The last on the case is the minors are expired spam. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and check. We'll go to our June 12th holidays. Eat Flexitarian Day. Flexitarian, noun, a style of eating that encourages eating mostly plant-based foods while allowing meat and other animal products in moderation. Eat Flexitarian Day. So basically just eat regular food day. Yeah, exactly. Mama Frey's been doing that her entire life. Oh, it's National Loving Day. We celebrate love and the Supreme Court's 1967 decision to strike down laws banning interracial marriage. National Loving Day. It's also Brazilian Valentine's Day. Wow. Find out how Brazil's culture has influenced a more intimate kind of Valentine's Day. I mean, what you think of Brazil and you think, damn. Brazilian Valentine's Day is Brazil's special version of Valentine's Day that is celebrated on June 12th of every year. The holiday is known locally as Dia dos Namorados, which means Sweetheart's Day or Boyfriend-Girlfriend's Day in Portuguese. Although the essence of the day is pretty much the same as Valentine's Day on February 14th, it's difficult to celebrate St. Valentine in February because the date clashes with one of Brazil's biggest outdoor festivals, the Carnival. So instead of having to choose between love and wild partying, Brazilians celebrate the version of Valentine's Day on June 12th, a date chosen because of its proximity to another day of love, St. Anthony's Day. Check out these amazing 50 date ideas for this romantic day. No, 50, that's way too many. The history of Brazilian Valentine's Day. Although the celebration of Dia dos Namorados has become closely intertwined with observances for St. Anthony's Day, the holiday is quite interesting origin story. The creation of a special Valentine's Day in Brazil was inspired in 1948 by a publicist called Joa Dorilia, who was trying to figure out how to improve sales for a clothing store. What? Dorilia inspired the Mother's Day celebrations in Brazil and decided to create a special day for lovers to share gifts and exchange acts of love. The chosen date was, you guessed it, June 12th. The holiday was christened Dia dos Namorados. As time went by, the essence of the Brazilian Valentine's Day celebration began to merge with religious observances of St. Anthony's Day, which is Kissing Dax! Arabic Sonder with the $1 super chat and got Kissing Dax on this Brazilian Valentine's Day. It's a Dia dos Namorados Day miracle. Some Kissing Dax. Congratulations. Indeed. What country is Valentine's Day illegal? Valentine's Day celebration is banned in Malaysia since 2005. Islamic authorities here have issued a fatwa that prohibits the celebration of Valentine's Day. This is because Valentine's Day is believed to be an avenue for disaster and immorality among youths. Okay, well, if you are in love, if you are looking for love, stay away from Malaysia. Malaysia hates love. I'm just taking this to the logical conclusion. What country celebrates Valentine's Day the most? I would say the USA. According to Google Trends, Valentine's Day is most popular in the Western world or America, but rather in Latin America, Asia. Oh, is not the most popular. According to data from Google Trends, Valentine's Day is not most popular in the Western world or America, but rather in Latin America, Asia, and Arab countries. So you're saying everywhere besides America and Europe. it's more popular. Even in Arab countries, which tend to be Islamic, and even that an Islamic country has issued a fatwa against it, you're telling me that Valentine's Day is still more popular in, say, Saudi Arabia than the United States of America. I beg to differ. Is Valentine's Day only in the USA? Valentine's Day is celebrated all over the world. Every culture has unique ways. And this isn't even about Valentine's Day. This is about Brazilian Valentine's Day. Pop Culture Curator is here. Says, hello, guys. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Pop. I know you're not doing well, but I hope you will be doing well soon. Tomorrow, Pop Culture Curator, there will be a fundraiser for Pop Culture Curator. I believe it will be on Jedi Bill's stream. If anybody has the time or the link for that, please post it in. It's another thing we will be checking in on. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is Kapla Bird. I have been lurking as I figured out what I will be drinking tomorrow for Pop's fundraiser on Jedi Bill's channel. I volunteered to sacrifice my liver again. I heard about that, Gorilla. You still use AOL. That explains everything. Well, I do, Gorilla. It was only this most recent last few weeks that I ever see this issue of having real mail go to the spam filter for some reason. You are welcome, Pop Culture Curator. If you have a link to the stream tomorrow, if it's out yet, or Jedi Bill, if you're here, or Gorilla, if anybody knows what the link is going to be for tomorrow's stream, please put it in the chat. And Addie Goes Places with a $5 super chat. Addie says, my grandma has been comatose for years. Then I turned on Joe's show. She got up, walked to the computer, and turned it up. Thanks for saving Nana, Joe. You are absolutely welcome, Addie. I can tell that is absolutely true and in no way a fake message.
I am looking forward to the day that you do that to his stream.
Mama Pray is saying she's looking forward to the day that what?
That you get up and
that
walk.
I get up and walk.
To turn his stream up.
To turn your stream up, Addie. Mama Pray was watching as I was watching your recent City Skylines stream on my TV instead of the computer. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says I can't put the link. I'm on the phone. Okay, Gorilla. Well, someone out there can. Captain Fandom Nerd says Addie Goes Places. Are you sure she turned it up and not off? And Addie says, of course it's true. Lying is a bannable offense. That is true. On Addie's message board, lying is a bannable offense. So we've got, there it is, Child Labor Day. And you see these children laboring away. Child Labor Day. Help us this World Day Against Child Labor to raise awareness about child labor. Why are they against it? I thought this was, Labor Day isn't against labor. Is it? I've never heard it. I mean, I guess it kind of is, right? I mean, Labor Day is about not going to work. It's about like unions and people working less and people having more time off and people having more holiday. Son of a bitch. My entire life, I always assumed Labor Day was about celebrating labor. It's actually about not celebrating labor. It's actually about saying, fuck you to labor. So I guess Child Labor Day, it only makes sense that it's anti-child labor, just like Labor Day is anti-adult labor. Well, that kind of changes everything, doesn't it? Okay, let's see. See, these kids look so happy. They should have at least got depressed kids. They should have had depressed kids doing child labor, not these happy, what are they, brothers? Child Labor Day, or World Day Against Child Labor, is observed on June 12th. The day has been around since 2002, when International Labor Organization, ILO, declared it an international day to raise awareness about child labor and the need to make efforts to prevent it. Son of a bitch. Since 2002, Child Labor Day, or World Day Against Child Labor, has been an annual occurrence where countries and international organizations come together to make efforts against child labor. Apart from spreading awareness and engineering activism, the most important thing to find a way to eradicate child labor from the roots, as more than half of all these children are being subjected to some worse forms of child labor. These are hazardous and extremely illegal, like human trafficking, resulting in forced prostitution. Okay, I just want to say Quiroga is absolutely against forced prostitution. However, child labor is not forced prostitution. There's nothing in the mines that even resembles prostitution. Okay, if you come across a hole in the mine, don't stick your thing in it. I can promise you it's not a glory hole. There's nothing on the other side except likely explosive. You might set off dynamite, or there might be acid in there eating away at the rock. It is not a happy surprise. Okay, there are no glory holes in the mines. In fact, we should put more signs up there. They tend to get torn down from time to time. The history of Child Labor Day. Child labor refers to the, look at these big words, exploitation of children, especially in developing countries. Well, they need to develop while depriving them of childhood and access to education because of their poor economic conditions. See, that is the exact opposite of Quiroga. We don't deny them access to education. Their labor is their education. Child labor has existed throughout history, hence why it's good, in different forms. Recorded evidence of children involved in labor like adults has been present since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, in which children used to work 12 hours a shift daily. 12 hours a daily shift for children. And now it's hard to get them to work even a single hour. And they call me the monster. I mean, I'm assuming. 12 hours. And like I want 6 to 8 a day. And somehow that's too much. To support the rapidly industrialized economy, Western nations needed more and more labor, and the best source available to them was children. In comparison to older days, when a single man of the house was enough to feed the family, the economic recession during the Industrial Revolution quite badly affected ordinary man and his family. Children, along with women, had to come out to the work to factories to make enough money, which barely ensured their survival. And since this exploitation of children as a source of cheap labor has prevailed. So wait, you're saying it's a good thing that the women were forced to work because that's equality. But it's a bad thing that the children were forced to work. Why? Tell me what's the difference? Why is one good but one bad? Overall, in the world, Africa has consistently stood in the #1 position when it comes to child labor. In every 5 children, 1 in every 5 children is involved in child labor. The second worst numbers come from the Asian Pacific Belt, where 7% of the children are victims. Look at how they're saying it's worse. The children are victims of child labor, but the children have good, steady paychecks. And you're saying they're victims. They're not the victims. The American children who can't even concentrate long enough to flip a hamburger, even when they're 25, they're the victims. Not these well-disciplined, smart, foreign children who've learned the ropes, learned how to work, learned how to manage with people under them and people above them. Child labor has been among the most discussed topics in the United Nations and other international organizations, and serious efforts have been to prevent child labor. But still, around 160 million children are involved in child labor, and the world still needs more efforts to eradicate child labor from the roots. What is this, their final solution to the child labor problem? It's disgusting. Captain Fandom Nerd with a $2 super chat says fairness in child labor. Hashtag Hail Karoga. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sean PRKA Moxley says, hey guys. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says
Scanning.
all of this.
Indications negative at this time.
Eyebrow Dax. Eyebrow Dax for Captain Fandom Nerd. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says all of this sad talk. I need some kissing Dax. Well, we got some eyebrow Dax. Sean PRK says, Kapla Bird, I made it. I hope you and the family are doing well today. Thank you, Sean. Last on the case is WTF. Where did this talk of glory holes in the Karogan mines come from? Well, because we were talking about Child Labor Day, which obviously mostly involves the mines in Quiroga, but it's also Brazilian Valentine's Day. And you know how the Brazilians get. Gorilla says, did you at least get them new pickaxes and shovels to make it easier on them? No. Dan Ben says, hi, welcome, Dan Ben. Gorilla says, wait, I got an idea. We make a stream bashing Frank Sinatra, and we move his computer across the room so he has to get up and walk to his computer so he can get on and rage against us. That would force me to walk. You know, I've heard of worse things, Gorilla. I've heard of worse things. Last Son of K sees the light, putting orphans out of work. It's bullshit. Addie Goes Places is against child labor. Liberals ruin everything. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Addie is a big fan of tipping. So Addie would love to tip the children of Quiroga for their extra child labor. So what do you think, Addie? I know you said you wanted Joe Biden to pass like a federal minimum wage. I think you said you wanted a federal minimum tip of $5. So no matter how small the task or whatever it is that needs to be done, the lowest tip you can give somebody is $5. Okay, legally. You couldn't call it a tip. If you wanted to tip somebody, you know, and I think maybe it's true because you get some older people and they think that still $1 or $2 is a valid tip these days. But the reality is, you know, $5. Don't waste somebody's time giving them here's a nice crisp dollar bill for you. Or even better, here's 4 shiny quarters as a tip. That don't work. The minimum tip, you know, you need a minimum tip to raise your family. So that minimum federal tip should be $5. Who else is with Addie with that? I think he should run for office on that idea. And then, of course, to give away, to make all college loans to give back all the borrowed money from college loans, of course. Child labor among the most discussed topics in the UN. So the Industrial Revolution led to the Royal Commission, which then 70 years later, over 2 million children employed. In 1910, in the USA alone, over 2 million children are actively employed in various jobs to support the economy. And in 2002, the ILO inaugurates the first Child Labor Day. So 1910, that was, I believe, the height of child employment in the United States. So we want to hashtag Make America Great Again for 2 million employed children in 1910. Child Labor Day facts. Is all child work child labor? Are there any laws against child labor in the USA? And how can I play my role to eradicate child labor? Okay, well, is all child work child labor? What do you think? Children who are assisting their families in business or are earning a pocket while not being deprived of their childhood and right to education is not child labor. It is something encouraged. Child labor is the exploitation of children because of their family's economic condition, that they are being deprived of their childhoods and forced to work so that they can contribute to their family's income. That doesn't answer the question, does it? Is all child work child labor? I'll take that as a no. Are there any laws against child labor in the USA? Such exploitation is prohibited by minimum working age legislation in almost all US states, although these laws do not consider all child labor to be child labor. These laws do not consider all child labor to be child labor. Exceptions include work by child artists, family duties, supervised training, and some forms of child work practiced by Amish children, as well by indigenous children in the Americas. This is how Quiroga gets around it. If you're working in the mines, it is quote unquote supervised training. Okay, supervised training. And how can I play my role to eradicate child labor? No, don't eradicate it. Invest in a child's education or financially support a family who is desperate because of their financial issues. Your support in providing education will result in new opportunities for that child. Yes, opportunities in the minds of Quiroga. Okay, so 5 facts about child labor everyone should know. 160 million children worldwide. Over the last 4 years, the number has increased by 8.4 million. Right now, there are 160 million children who are victims of child labor. 70% of children are working in agriculture. No. I imagine they mean 70% of working children are working in agriculture. The highest percentage of children involved in child labor work in the agriculture sector, which is good, because if they're working in agriculture, it means they're not being sex trafficked. Plus, they've got, sunny days. They're working outside. I mean, the only thing better would be the mines. But there's not room in the mines for 70% of 160 million children. And they're claiming poverty is the biggest cause of child labor. According to stats from the UN, the biggest cause of child labor is poverty and unemployment. Regulated child labor began in the UK during the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, and rapid development of large-scale manufacturing pioneered the exploitation of young children. So congratulations to the UK. And 5, India leading child labor in South Asia. India has the highest number of children involved in child labor. The number exceeds 5 million. So there's 160 million in the world, but India has the highest percentage with 5 million. Doesn't really seem, that doesn't make sense mathematically. We can prevent child labor. It exhibits our resolve, supports freedom. Forget all that stuff. Forget all of that stuff. And I believe I read this already. Captain Phantom Nerd, fairness in child labor. Hashtag Hail Karoga. It's Democracy Day. Oh, Nigeria. International Falafel Day. That's a falafel? I had no idea falafels were around.
Lovable friends.
National Button Battery Awareness Day. National Button Battery Awareness Day remembers baby Reese, who died from swallowing a button battery. That's very depressing. National Esther Day. Do you know someone named Esther? No, nobody knows anyone named Esther. National Jerky Day. Sassy, it's your jerky day. Jerky is gaining popularity for the practical and health benefits of this meaty treat. Sassy does not forgive or forget. Don't give away Sassy's jerky. National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. That looks delicious. National Red Rose Day. Go out and smell the roses as we bring out a new bloom, this timeless flower. Well, I have several pink roses naturally growing in front of my house. No red roses, pink. Peace Day. Learn about the harrowing events that led to the independence of Kosovo. Pulse Night of Remembrance. Raggedy Ann and Andy Day. It's Russia Day. That's a problematic day. Learn about Russia's Independence Day and its new meaning and what citizens think of it. It's Superman Day. Superman Day. Join us as we celebrate and learn about everyone's favorite Kryptonian. I guess happy birthday, Superman. And finally, World Day Against Child Labor with a U, whatever labor is. Interesting. Okay. So I guess we have
Oh, yeah.
Kissing Dax again. The DNC donated $1.49 and says lies. Child labor is at its highest levels in the United States because of Trump and GOP policies. It's racist to say India is the leading country. We have contacted the FBI to launch a civil rights investigation into you. Well, shit. Well, maybe Joe Biden will pardon me. Damn it. The DNC is is going to get me. Anyway, it's Wordle time. Now, Birdle has already been played. I got Birdle in 4. So, first person to put in a 5-letter word for Wordle, I will use it, and then we will see how I do in Wordle. Last on the case is largest corporations supporting child labor behind closed doors. Nike. Largest country where child labor happens the most often. China. Last on the case is the only thing the sock puppet Dementia Joe can pass without help is gas. Dan Van says we don't give tips the same way they do in America here in the UK. No, and I'm sure Addie would much prefer living in the UK because truth is he hates tipping. Last on the case is other countries don't have tips for servers and wait staff because they pay those workers a real working wage. Miss Lindell's Groovy Movie says, it's official, Bird is a slave driver. Dan Van says, wasn't taught enough about English history at school. In the UK, there's a celebrity called Esther Rantes. Hakeem loves making jerky at home. Last son of Kay is that Superman Day? Hakeem says Batman Day is better. And Thomas Potts says cheat. And Dr. Scotty says scout. First word though was cheat. So let's go with that. Sorry, Dr. Scotty. Thomas beat you by a little bit. And not a single word letter. Not a single letter. If we did scout, the C and the T, I'm sorry. I can't use scout. There's too many reused letters. Captain Fandom Nerd says apron, A-P-R-O-N. There's just one reused letter. I don't want to waste. I'm sorry, Captain, but I don't want to waste. Being I got no letters at all with the first one. I don't want to re-waste a letter. So let's see. A-E, let's do S and S. Build. B-U-I-L-D. Okay. B-U-I-L-D. 5 letters. Oof. Okay. M-O. M-O. M-O-N. S. S-O. and Y. Sonny, what's up, Sonny? Okay, we got one N in the right place. We got an O. Wrong. What comes after? What letter could come after N? D, but D is already used. N. O. I mean, what? P-O-R-N-O. I mean, technically, it could be porno. No, it can't be porno because the O is not, okay. No, the O is not in the right spot. What comes after N? If not O, what comes after N? G? Okay. O-N-G. O-N-G. So what could be G-R-O-N? What? Prom. We could have prom. P-R-O-N-G. Okay. Okay, so this is good. Wrong. Wrong. I got it. I was right. I was right. It was right to be wrong. Right to be wrong. Whatever. Wrong is right. We did it in 5. We did it in 5. Jim's Landscape LLC, Commodore Productions, says hello, hello, Commodore. Gorilla wanted Ouija. Jim's Landscape puts out a Chevy truck video. Miss Londell's Groovy Movies says the word is so damn simple, you'll never get it. But I did. Ye of little faith. Captain Fandom Nerd is still putting out 5-letter words. Mouse. We got it, Captain. We got it. Last Son of K is saying cheater. I didn't cheat. And I don't know why there's a bag of Cheetos going around with my face on it. That is okay. We need to talk about some fake news, deep fakes that are being used by enemies of this channel. A certain salty trekker has been found to be using deep fake audio, supposedly me surrendering to Kurdistan. That is never going to happen. Okay, that is 100% fake news. Last time, someone sent me this link to Gene Roddenberry's abandoned Star Trek II film concept. After the success of the motion picture, Gene Roddenberry immediately got work on a sequel. Little did he know that Paramount was in the process of sidelining him into a consulting producer role, and his story for Star Trek II would never be made. However, we have details of his concept, and it just may surprise you. Kirk meets JFK. Spock is the man on the grassy knoll. I thought this was literally a joke. This is something I come up with in my shorts treks that I stopped doing, but I'll get back to one day. Gene Roddenberry put together a 60-page treatment for a sequel to Star Trek, the motion picture, in the spring of 1980. According to the 50-year mission by Edward Gross and Mark A. Altman, despite the motion picture making $139 million worldwide, with 82.2 of its gross being made domestically, Roddenberry was stung by criticism of his first outing on the silver screen. Roddenberry's idea for Star Trek II. Roddenberry decided to write a sequel to go back to the elements that made Star Trek so popular: the Klingons, time travel, the Guardian of Forever, and Sarek and Amanda. In the story, the Enterprise returns to Earth to find bodies floating in space. They eventually discover that history has been changed by the Klingons, and the Federation no longer exists. As to why the Enterprise still exists when the Federation does not, well, the answer is that anyone traveling at warp speed when the change in the timeline occurred is immune. With the Federation never having existed, Earth's population populated with a savage race of proto-humans. The crew learns the Klingons use the Guardian of Forever to go back in time and change history. When more Klingons arrive at Earth, the Enterprise hides behind the moon to evade detection. In San Francisco, near the site of what would have been Starfleet headquarters, Amanda is brutally raped by Klingons, and Sarek sacrifices his life to save Kirk and Spock. The crew returns to Jesus Christ. Spock, your mother's being ravaged by Klingons. The crew returns to the planet where the Guardian is located to go back in time and reverse the damage the Klingons had done. When a Klingon ship attempts to block a much larger Guardian portal, the Enterprise crashes through the Guardian and ends up crashing in Canada in the 1960s. A U-2 spy plane mistakes the crashed Enterprise for an alien spacecraft, which causes U.S. President John F. Kennedy to cancel his trip to Dallas in November 1963. This prevents JFK from being assassinated and thus altering the timeline. Realizing that they are the ones who altered the timeline, Captain Kirk visits JFK in the Oval Office. However, Kirk is not forced to ask the president to sacrifice himself to correct the timeline. Instead, the crew repair the timeline mysteriously that the Klingons disrupted and return to the 23rd century. To their surprise, Dr. McCoy returns to a wife due to changes in the Enterprise crew had made in the past. Further revisions. Eddie Egan, the unit publicist in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, stated that there was a revision that was made the events of Roddenberry's Star Trek II, similar to the classic original series episode, City on the Edge of Forever. In order for history to be restored Kennedy had to die. In his version, Spock appeared behind a fence and fired the fatal gunshot that assassinated JFK. This proposal reportedly horrified Paramount. Fans even began a letter writing campaign based on rumors that Spock would be the shooter on the grassy knoll. These angry letters basically said, if Spock is the shooter on the grassy knoll, I will never watch again. Roddenberry was promoted by Paramount in the early 1980s to the role of executive consultant, and essentially cutting him out of the creative input on the Star Trek film franchise. According to a longtime assistant, Susan Sackett, Paramount was looking for a scapegoat for their failure to hold back costs in the production of the motion picture. They wanted anyone but Roddenberry. The motion picture had run $10 million over budget, which Sackett contends was Paramount's fault. Sackett, for her part, felt Gene's JFK story was damn good, and she does not know why they never did it. Well, that sounds a lot to me like today, people who hate Discovery and say, if you do this, I'll never watch it again. But today we're called toxic. Back then, we saved Spock from becoming the shooter on the grassy knoll. But we don't hear about that. You don't hear about that. The wrath of Paramount. As a result of the motion picture's budget issues, Paramount Pictures turned to Harve Bennett, the head of Paramount's television division, in 1980 to produce the sequel to the motion picture. Bennett and Roddenberry reportedly clashed intensely during the production of The Wrath of Khan, even to the point where Bennett had Roddenberry thrown off the set after a particularly bitter dispute one day. For this story and many others in the history of Star Trek, check out Mark A. Altman and Edward Gross's 2-volume history, The 50-Year Mission. That actually is pretty damn interesting. And the 50-year mission. The 50 mission, the next 25 years. No, this is an audio book, hardcover. The next 25 years, from Next Gen to J.J. Abrams. No, I want the first 50-year mission. Well, we'll find it. We will find it shortly. I'll be right back.
Good news today at the Ground Round.
You get a whole lot more at the Ground Round. You get a whole lot more.
What's the good news?
USDA Choice Top Sirloin Steak, just $3.99.
That's good news.
And new golden fried clams, also $3.99.
More good news.
Try our baked lemon butter scrod, just $3.99.
That is good news.
Steak, clam, scrod, just $3.99 each at participating Ground Rounds.
At the Ground Round, you get a whole lot more.
Time takes you beyond the news.
Time flies, and you are there. Time cries, and lets you care. You understand the world we share.
This week, Time helps you understand the spoils of war, the diplomatic and human costs of victory in Lebanon and the Falklands.
Read Time and understand.
One of the nice things about McDonald's Chicken McNuggets, those hot, tasty pieces of boneless chicken, is that they're packaged in sizes for every appetite. Let me illustrate. Enter the six-pack. A logical lunch. McNuggets 9, a delight for dinner. And a pack of 20? Hey, perfect for picnics and parties. Of course, these are mere suggestions. Your appetite will be the true guide.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
I've been on my feet 6 hours. You know how I feel? I feel like dancing.
Sheer energy.
It makes me feel like dancing.
Sheer energy.
It makes my legs feel that good. Sheer Energy pantyhose look terrific. And they stimulate, refresh, and massage my legs. So I really feel like dancing.
Sorry about that. Okay. It looks, the book looks unlicensed. Yeah, I hope it is unlicensed. That's how you get the good stuff. Licensed stuff has to pass too much censorship. The Multi-Gun Man's in the house. Hello, Multi-Gun Man. Good to see you. Thomas Potts is in the house. Says it's 100% real. Ms. Lundell says, I blame LDG for the fake Cheeto picture. If you ask me, he's secretly in league with the Salt Monster. Thomas is the only one who would work with LDG is LDG. Last on the case is that would have sucked hard. Thank God they didn't make that movie. I tend to agree. Dan Ben says, I've heard of another unused plot where the Vulcans leave the Federation because of the Genesis weapon, and there's a hostage situation on a revolt at a base where the device is being made. The Multi-Gun Man says the shooter on the grassy knoll was a Kurogan operative. Don't tell anybody. Dan Ben says, some saying this plot you're reading was from Star Trek II. Others say Star Trek III. Last on the case is Bird went back in time and was on the grassy knoll. Ms. Lundell says that has to be the most un-Klingon thing any writer on Trek could come up with. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been some weird. Cody Guy is waving. Welcome, Cody Guy. Dan Ben says that food adverts say fake. Those were real adverts. Just old. John Aragi says, damn it, now I want chicken nuggets now. The Multi-Gun Man says sheer energy powering Kuroga for over 40 years. Arabic Saunders says, Berto Prey, I'll never forget poor Mamo Prey's pantyhose story.
What baby?
You told a pantyhose story once.
Oh.
On Mamo Prey tale.
Oh, my father. That one? When I was a kid going out, I had on a really like a short mini dress, and my father said as soon as I was wearing pantyhose, that one.
I don't remember exactly, but that sounds familiar.
That's the only one that you remember. Yeah.
Last on the case is those legs commercials when I hit puberty. Damn. John Aragi, hashtag trust no one. Mikey Sues says, hello, Brother Bird. Hello, Mikey Sues. And John Aragi with another 5 gifted memberships. But John, I think there's nobody left. I think we're membered out. YouTube only gives the accounts to people who come to the streams, but only people who come to the streams without a brand account. And I think we've run out of people. I think 63 people that currently have memberships is all the viewers we get. So I appreciate it. I don't know how it works anymore because I don't see anybody actually getting these. I think there was actually some left from last time too. So it might take a while. Maybe when somebody's subscription runs out, they'll get renewed. I don't know. I don't know. But thank you so much. It is greatly appreciated. Last on the case is Sean isn't here to get one. My allow gifts is off. No. You know, I don't know. Sometimes overnight YouTube gives them out. But when I checked it earlier today, we were still at 63. No hope of hitting 69. I don't think so. At least not that I know of. We'd have to get some new people here, and they'd have to participate in the chat. I will try. I'll try. I mean, they're there. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I saw this link to a quiz, and how well can you draw all 50 states? And I figured I would try it. I figured I would try it if anybody else wants to. Can you draw the states? See if you can draw Illinois. States remaining 51. Okay, I know damn well there's not 51 states. But Illinois, what does that kind of look like? I think that's Illinois. How did I do? I got a B. I got a B for Illinois. Oregon. Okay. Oregon is, wait, it's Washington is the top. Oregon is between Washington and California. B plus. Okay, I'm surprised I actually had the angle. I thought Illinois looked closer than Oregon, but I'll take a B plus. South Carolina. That's the smaller Carolina. Oh my God, that's a C? What? I thought that was closest of them all so far. Fine. It's still passable. It's still passable. I know. If I'm Obama, there's 57 states. The multi-gunman says 69 is the official number of Karoga. Utah. Well, Utah is part of the states that have the 4 connection. It's not square. It's bigger, it's taller, on one side than the other, right? It's okay. We have Nevada, Utah. I think Utah looks like this. B plus. Okay. I'm good with that. Kentucky. Oof. Kentucky. It's pretty flat on the bottom, right? And then it's I think, yeah, B. Okay. I'm okay with that. We got Kentucky, Connecticut. Oh man, that's so close too. It's a tiny state. It's tiny and it's basically a box. Oh, I forgot that little section that sticks out. It's actually weird because if you're driving, there's a highway that you're in New York and then it goes into Connecticut and then it goes back into New York. So on the highway, it says now entering Connecticut. And then like a minute later, it says now entering New York. And there's a Connecticut state trooper who stays right on the border just to get anybody who's speeding through like the 2 miles that it's in Connecticut. I forgot about that. Georgia. Oof. Georgia is like the opposite. It's connected to South Carolina and then comes down and then it's flat with Florida. I don't know. It's kind of like a bell. I don't know about this one. Oh, wow. Okay. How is that a B plus? Like, I thought that's pretty shitty, honestly. Okay. South Dakota. That's just a fucking square, a rectangle. Oh no. Clear. South Dakota is it's pretty much the same as North Dakota. A plus. Nice. Hawaii. Oh God. Oh, come on. I can't actually expect people to draw Hawaii. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. You got your big island over here. You got fucking island over here. You got Lanai. You got Molokai. You got some shit here. You got Oahu. And God knows what other little shits. Even fucking unnamed tolls are there. Fuck you! Fuck you, that's fucking great. Okay, how the fuck is that an F? Fuck you. I was great. Look. I got Big Island. I got Maui. I got Lanai. How am I supposed to draw an island as tiny as Lanai? And look, I mean, the fucking islands are there. There's an island here, an island here. Okay, I'll grant you this fucking thing. This was supposed to be that, but come on. This is clearly, this is at worst, a C minus. A C fucking minus. Fuck you, Hawaii. Fucking Obama. Oh, shit. North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. Okay, well, the southern border goes out. I don't remember. Fucking looks like what, a muffin? Wow. See, I draw that and I get a B. Now, if you had given me an F for North Carolina, I wouldn't have been as upset. Last on the case is if you're Dementia Joe, there's one state, the state of confusion. Multi-Gun is bird. Everybody knows there's 73 states. I declare shenanigans. Mikey Sue says, I've always known America having 50 states, with Puerto Rico being more of an anomaly provincial state. I'm sure the 51 here is going to be the District of Columbia, because the left has been trying to push us to make DC into a state for 25 years now. So they just like call it a state. So eventually people just say, yeah, it's a state. But it's not a state. It can never be a state without a constitutional amendment. John Aragi says birds should just draw the shapes of the McDonald's chicken nuggets. I could probably do a good job at that. Arabic Sanders says, damn, now I'm craving hot chicken, although I think it's from Nashville. And people cracking up at my Hawaii. Resolute Germ, hello, Resolute. North Carolina is basically Virginia upside down. Yeah. Okay. Florida, there we go. Okay. Florida, that's easy enough. And I mean, I know the whole for Lake Okeechobee. Okay, let's see. I think I can do better than that. I think I can do better than that. Also, there's, I mean, like, what about the islands for Key West? I'm not even going to try. C. Oh, they had them. They had them. Son of a bitch. Wow. Okay. Pennsylvania. That's a state very close to B plus. To be honest, can you draw California? Of course I can. There we go. Only a B plus. Come on, man. That's A minus. That's A minus work if I've ever seen it. Maine. Yeah, I can do Maine. You got kind of those cat ears on top. No, let's try that again. No. No, let's try it again. C plus. Okay. Arabic Sonder with a 17-month friend of Karoga super chat says, can you ask Mamo Pray about the story when her pantyhose were too big or something and she was going up some stairs?
Oh,
Okay, now she remembers.
the other pantyhose.
That was the other pantyhose story. Dan Ben likes maps.
Do you want that?
Yes, please, come on, we'll pray. You can talk while I draw states. I knew it. District of Columbia. What'd I say? You can talk.
Oh, I can talk. I think
Yeah.
you were in the middle. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm remembering that pantyhose story. It was back in the time of my life when I was active in the school, the community, the local politics. And we had a bus full of PTA, mothers mostly, going from New York, from Brooklyn, up to Albany. And we were having, we were showing our support to get money to open more kindergarten classes in the city. And one of the local politicians said that we needed to show our support by going up to Albany. So here I am. I mean, back in the day, you really didn't wear pants, and most women were in dresses going, excuse me, and I was one of them. We're at the state capitol. Now, I don't know how wide this staircase is. I mean, I don't know, I guess you could fit 10 to 15 people across on one step. I mean, it's huge and it's long, maybe 3 stories high. And here I am. I believe that my first pair of pantyhose ripped earlier in the day, and I had to put on another pair at the school before we got on the bus to go up. Anyway, being 4'10", a borrowed pair of pantyhose or a pair that you can just pick up at the corner store. I forget which I did. I think I ran and picked one up. Really, what didn't fit. Most were too big. And this one was. And as I walked up this tremendous staircase, the pantyhose just kept falling down and falling down. And I mean, they were like down by my knees by the time I got up to the top of the stairs. I had to find a ladies' room and just take them off. It was very embarrassing. It really was. And I'm sure there was more to it. I had people crowding around me, throw it in your pants. Yeah, I know. Well, what are you going to do? Can't take them off in the middle of a staircase. That was the pantyhose story from the state capitol. We did get the extra money for the kindergartens, though. Unfortunately, our district chose not to use that money for extra kindergarten classes because they found out that there was really, if they didn't use it for kindergarten, all they would do is get a warning that the Board of Ed had absolutely no way of enforcing it. So they chose not to do it. That's when I first learned about all the BS in local politics. Oh, and did I mention at that time there was a person that's quite popular now that was involved in our local politics back then? You all might have heard from him. His initials are CS, and he's pretty friendly with Nancy Pelosi. On that note, have a good day, guys.
Thank you, Mama Bray. So
I'm afraid to ask what you're drawing.
we're drawing states. That was Vermont. I got a B plus.
Oh, very good. Except, B plus isn't too great, but what the hell.
Oklahoma. That's the one that's above Texas. And it's got the Oklahoma panhandle. Yeah, B plus. B plus for Oklahoma, Montana, Big Sky Country. B plus. Alabama. Sweet home, Alabama. Where the skies. Sweet home, Alabama. New Hampshire, the opposite of Vermont. C, okay. Wyoming, that's pretty much a rectangle. Really? A B? North Dakota, that is a definite rectangle. B plus. Massachusetts. It's an awful state. C. Okay. Arizona. A, got a nice A for Arizona. How many more states are left? 18. Jesus Christ. Wisconsin. Oh no. Wisconsin. I don't know. How does one draw Wisconsin? Oh no. Oh no, son of a bitch. Okay. Ah, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Ooh, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. Texas. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Okay, I know this isn't the best Texas, but I'm also getting lazy at this point. 15, Washington State. That's almost, except it's got like a corner cut out. B plus. Indiana. It's B plus. Nevada. Nevada. You got that. B plus. Maryland. Maryland. What the fuck? It's just a dot. It's like, I don't even know. Oh God. Yeah, okay. Maryland. Maryland, that was an F. See, now that's an F I deserved. That's an F I deserved. I forgot. Missouri. Missouri. It's pretty. C plus. Surprised that was a plus. Nebraska. Another mostly rectangular state. I'm afraid.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Yes, I'm afraid.
But do you remember you have physical therapy?
Oh
in 10
shit! I have
minutes?
physical therapy in 10 minutes.
I didn't think you
I
remembered.
forgot.
You were having such a good time.
Hmm.
I feel like a terrible person.
I have.
But if he hasn't texted you yet,
Let me see.
he might be late.
Let me see what's going on. No, he is on his way as of 4 minutes ago. Okay, guys. We got to power through these 11 remaining states. New York. New York. New York. C, okay. Iowa. Fuck. B. Alaska. Oh, come on. F. Fuck. Colorado. Yeah. Just a fucking rectangle. B. Rhode Island. It's just a little fucking C plus. Idaho. Idaho. Oh, I mirrored Idaho. Okay. That was mirror Idaho. Mississippi. Minnesota.
It's not gay yet.
Oh, big F. Big F on Minnesota, Ohio, shit, F on Ohio, Louisiana, fuck, let's see. Okay, congratulations, you drew all 50 states and Washington, D.C. Map of your states. This will update with each state you draw. Download an image. I saved it. Confirmed Berto Prey 5 hates Massachusetts. Arabic Sinus says, where are Yitzi and Yosef? They would love watching Berto Prey draw again. Jedi Bill says, Kapla Berto Prey, hail Karoga, hail Jedi Bill. Tomorrow, guys, Jedi Bill, if you have the link yet for your Pop Culture Curator fundraiser stream, please put in the link. Again, tomorrow will be Pop Culture Curator big fundraiser link on the Jedi Bill channel. There will also be on the Berto Prey 5 channel the members only stream at some point tomorrow. But I do have to go now. I have physical therapy starting in like 5 minutes. Just for this week, they've changed it to Monday, Wednesday. Tomorrow I got a doctor's appointment, but I will, or after the doctor's appointment, we will do the members stream. Anti-Derivative Jill is in the chat. Welcome, Anti-Derivative Jill. Had a lot of fun drawing the estates. Andrew Jill says, I was hoping someone would say that to the multi-gun man. Idaho, Udaho. Dan Ben says, Rhode Island, everyone loves Raymond. And Jedi Bill put in the link to the Pop Culture Curator stream. Guys, please check out that link, notify you when it begins, and I will be there as soon as I can tomorrow. Thank you all. I know we didn't get to Dear Bop. We'll have, don't get me, there were no Dear Bops. When I started the stream, there were no Dear Bops. So don't worry, nothing's been waiting too long. There's a handful of Dear Bops now, but they only came in since I started the stream, so they can wait till Friday. Kapla all, thank you all for coming, but I gotta go. Bird out.